Hey, it's Stacey here, and I am joined by my husband, Jeff,
Hi,
today.
everybody.
And this week is our anniversary, and it is our 16 years of marriage.
Okay.
16 years of marriage?
21 together. I don't know. Since 2005.
So, 17 years.
Oof. Okay.
So this week is our 17th wedding anniversary, and we've been together for 21 years this month. And part of my vision in my relationship quadrant is that when people see Jeff and I together, that we inspire each other about what's possible in a marriage. And that often gets reflected back to us, that when they see us together at events or out in the world, that it inspires them about what's possible in a relationship, in a marriage. And so today we thought we would have some candid conversations about what it's like to be married to each other, maybe a little bit of insight into our lives, and any insights that we could provide to help somebody else really have and create a strong marriage. So that's why we're here today. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Question one.
Question one, how did we meet?
At a parachute club.
Parachute
I think.
club. That's how we first
Was
met.
it the first?
That was
or did I see you before that? Okay. At a parachute club in 1998, where you, your sister, your brother, and some friends were skydiving. And I was supposed to skydive, but I sprained my ankle pretty badly.
Yeah.
So I drove a buddy there.
So you drove to watch.
Yeah. I drove to watch.
Yeah. So that was our first time meeting. But so Jeff was in the military at the time, and your best friend and roommate was dating my sister.
That's right.
So we would often end up at the same places, and eventually we started dating. So we got married in 2005 in Costa Rica. On the beach. That was the vision, is to get married in our bare feet on the beach.
Hot sand.
But the sand was too hot, so we couldn't go barefoot.
Right. That's right.
But it was beautiful.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't change a thing.
And then we backpacked around Costa Rica for 3 weeks, which was a magical trip.
Yes.
And what was going on in our lives at the time was I had
There's
just
a lot going on. Yeah.
I had just been promoted into a new position. You had been injured in the military and were going to be transitioning out of the military. And one of the things that we did on that trip, and we still have the notebook, is we were laying on the beach dreaming and creating a vision of what our life was going to look like together. So when I think about one of the things that's created success in our marriage, is we've always been visioning and dreaming and asking that, what's next and what do we want it to look like?
Yes.
And it started right from just even planning the wedding and what we wanted that to look like, to dreaming on the beach about what was life going to look like.
Yeah, always asking questions, but always in the supportive way.
Yes.
And no matter what we decided, the route we were going to go, it was always 100% supportive.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I think about how you've supported my dreams and hopefully how I've supported yours, it's always been, hey, as long as you're happy, we'll figure it out. That's kind of been the foundational principle, is, hey, if it's going to make you happy, we'll find a way and we'll figure it out.
That's right, because, anything's possible. And
that was before, I would say, we were unconscious competence, right? We didn't really know what we were doing, but looking back, we can see that was the pattern. Yeah. And I think the other thing is we've both always been very much into our personal growth. And so we, found a spiritual path. We found a growth path that both resonated with us both. Yeah. And we grew together.
Yeah, that's the key right there, right? Yeah. Is being able to step out of comfort zones and just that continual growth and growing in the same direction. It's not easy sometimes.
No.
There's some effort and work, and the way I think we face adversity is usually through, doesn't matter what it is, usually through a couple of jokes to start. There's always a few little laughs. Doesn't matter what.
I think when we have we have such a foundation of we'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That anytime we faced adversity, and we've had adversity, I mean,
Yes.
we have faced some stuff,
Yeah.
but when you just believe at your core that we'll figure it out, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah, and I find the humor takes the charge.
Yes.
That initial like shock charge, and and the knowing, right? We're not going to get, stuck down here. We know.
We'll get to the
Yeah,
solution.
absolutely.
Another piece of it that we've grown into, I don't know that I definitely know I've not always had this, but as we've been deep into personal development and what that looks like, is there is so much self-accountability. Like, it would be so much easier sometimes to blame you for my bad mood.
Oh, yes.
Or what's going wrong, right? How many times in a relationship it's so much easier to blame the other person.
Yes.
But what you realize the more inner work you do is that, hey, nobody can think my thoughts but me, and nobody can control myself but me. And so when you also have that level of self-accountability, it doesn't mean that, we don't get frustrated with each other, but we're pretty quick to move to, okay, this is about me, not her, not him. Yeah. And sometimes they need some space, right?
Yes.
Like, we take our time, we get our space, and then it's, okay, here's what's going on for me. Yeah. Not always easy. There's a few qualities that I admire so much about you that I wish I had more of. And one of them is your pure passion. Like, when Jeff gets into something and excited about something, he is so passionate and so committed. And I definitely admire that. And your kind heart. I mean, he is the most generous person I know, and just can make anybody feel like $1 million. And it's so genuine and so sincere. And so the way that you connect with people, I see it with our family, but also with strangers and in the work that we get to do in the world. And
And for you, the qualities of that I really love, and I wish I could take more on, is your calmness in really certain situations. Just how you can stay grounded, and it just feels like you come from such a pure place and of love and support. And that's for anybody, right? For our family, for your clients, for everybody, right? That you come in contact with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to the person who's saying, hey, I want love in my life, or I want deeper connection, for me, it always starts with that vision, right? Is what would you love in a relationship? And we certainly vision for who we want to be in our relationship, what we want out of our relationship, but it starts with that vision. And then, who do I need to be? It's so easy to say, I want this from my partner, I want them to be this way, but it really starts with, who am I being? And am I being the person who is vulnerable, who's open, who's laughing, who's growing? And so again, it goes back to that self-awareness piece, not waiting for somebody else to be something. It really starts with you. And it's work. We've been together for 21 years, and every year I believe we go, wow, that was an amazing year, because we work at it and we grow together, and we just really want for each other to be happy, and that's really important. There's a great expression, the wisest person I know is my tailor, because he measures me anew every day. And I love that, because I think it's, I'm not the same person I was yesterday. Jeff's not the same person he was yesterday. So that's staying curious every day and not getting complacent. And I think if I were to say, what can we do better in our relationship, I would say, more. We spend a lot of time together. We both work out of home. We love spending time together, but we probably don't take enough date nights or actual intentional time out. So it's really easy to get comfortable and complacent. And I think that's can be equally as a dangerous place to be. So I hope by us spending this few moments with you, you take something from this and maybe share below. What's your insight? What's your action step that you'll take maybe with your partner or your partner that you're calling in by means of spending this time with us today? And we're just very, very grateful to be on this journey with you. And we hope that our story inspires you about what's possible in your own relationships. Happy anniversary. Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, babe.
Yeah.
Grateful to be on this journey with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We say it all the time.
Yeah. Gratitude for one another. That's probably